The studio was electric. Bright lights, polished set design, and an audience eagerly waiting for a showdown. The cameras zoomed in on Megyn Kelly, a veteran journalist famous for tough interviews. But tonight, she had one goal: trap Donald Trump. Before we continue this story, let us know where you're watching from. If you enjoy stories like this, subscribe to the channel, because tomorrow we have another special story for you. Megyn straightened her notes, flashing a sharp smile. Mr. Trump, let's put politics aside. Do you believe you're a good person? A deceptively simple question, but Trump wasn't fooled. He smirked. Well, Megyn, I've built businesses, created thousands of jobs, and helped people when no one else would. If that doesn't make me a good person, I don't know what does. Megyn's smile didn't falter. Interesting, she mused. But some say your controversies tell a different story. Would you say you have regrets? Trump leaned in slightly. Do you? Silence. A power move. Megyn hesitated. I'm the one asking questions. Trump didn't blink. No, Megyn, I'm asking you. The media twists my words, pushes false narratives. Do you regret that? The studio tensed. The first crack in Megyn's confidence had appeared. Trump sat back, letting the moment linger. He wasn't playing defense. He was controlling the conversation. And just like that, the real battle had begun. Megyn forced a laugh, adjusting her notes. She wasn't used to losing control this early. Mr. Trump, she said, regaining composure, the media has covered you extensively. Trump raised a hand. You mean unfairly? A low chuckle rippled through the audience. Megyn ignored it. Regardless, let's talk about family values. You claim to support them, yet critics point to your personal life as proof otherwise. There it was, the attack on his character. Trump smirked. Critics? You mean you? The audience laughed outright. Megyn's eyes flickered with irritation, but she pressed on. Many Americans wonder. Trump leaned forward, voice calm but commanding. Megyn, do you know what Americans really wonder? She hesitated. The power shifted. They wonder why the media only talks about my family to attack them. Why my wife, an accomplished woman, gets dismissed, while other political spouses get praised for doing less. Megyn tried to cut in, but Trump wasn't. Finished. And meanwhile, you ignore the real issues. Inflation, crime, the border, things that actually matter. A murmur spread through the audience. Trump wasn't just defending himself. He was exposing the media. Megyn straightened. So, character doesn't matter? Trump chuckled. Oh, it matters. But only when it's about me, right? Silence. I remember when Bill Clinton was president. The media told us character didn't matter. Megyn's jaw tightened. But now, suddenly, it does again? Trump shook his head. Funny how that works. A ripple of laughter moved through the crowd. Megyn was losing them, and she knew it. Megyn sat up straighter, forcing a smile, but her eyes betrayed her. She was cornered. Trump tilted his head slightly, studying her. Waiting. She exhaled sharply. Mr. Trump, let's be honest. Many say your businesses have failed. Your political career has been divisive, and your personal life. Trump held up a hand. Megyn, I'm going to stop you right there. The audience stilled. He leaned forward, voice low but commanding. Let me tell you what failure actually looks like. Megyn froze. Failure, Trump continued, is spending your career pretending to be a journalist while pushing an agenda. The audience murmured, some clapped. Failure, he gestured around the studio, is networks like yours losing ratings because the American people don't trust you anymore. Megyn swallowed hard. And let me tell you what's not failure. Trump smirked. Building an empire, winning the presidency, leading the greatest economy this country has ever seen, and most importantly, beating you at your own game, right now. The audience erupted in applause. Megyn's face paled. She scrambled for her notes. This wasn't how it was supposed to go. Mr. Trump, Trump raised a hand again, silencing her. I know what you were trying to do, Megyn, but you failed. Megyn pressed her lips together, gripping her cue cards like a lifeline. Trump turned to the camera. The American people aren't stupid. They see the lies, the manipulation, and that's why they don't trust you anymore. A standing ovation. Megyn had nothing left. She turned to the camera, forcing a tight smile. We'll be right back after this short break. But everyone knew the damage was done, and Trump, he had just won. The show cut to commercial, but the damage was already viral. Megyn yanked out her earpiece, rubbing her temples. Producers swarmed her, whispering urgently, Trump? He sat back, relaxed, watching the chaos unfold. The cameras weren't rolling anymore, but it didn't matter. The moment had already exploded online. Clips were uploaded. Headlines were forming, and Megyn knew it. A producer leaned in, frantic. Megyn, we need to pivot. Make him look unhinged. She nodded quickly, gripping her cue cards. 2, 1. The show returned. Megyn forced a smile, but her voice had lost its edge. Welcome back, Mr. Trump. Before the break, we were discussing... Trump chuckled, shaking his head. Megyn, come on. We both know what's happening here. Megyn blinked. Excuse me? Trump turned slightly toward the camera. They just told you to change the subject, didn't they? The audience gasped. Megyn's face went blank. Trump grinned, leaning in. That's what they do, folks. When they lose, they pivot. They scramble. They try to rewrite history in real time. A low murmur spread through the crowd. Megyn stammered. I don't know what you're implying. Trump smirked. Oh, I think you do. He turned back to the camera. America! This is why nobody trusts them anymore. The crowd exploded in applause. Megyn glanced at her producer. Panic in her eyes. Trump sat back, victorious. Next question, Megyn. Try to make it a good one. She had nothing, and the world was watching. The interview had begun as an ambush. It had ended as a lesson in media destruction. Trump adjusted his cufflinks, looking satisfied. The network cut to another break, but the headlines were already writing themselves. If you enjoy stories like this, subscribe to the channel, because tomorrow we have another special story for you.